Why do you still pay with cash when you have People's Pay mobile app from People's Bank? Scan the Lanka QR code and make your payments with People's Pay mobile payment app from People's Bank.
In a few moments, the news.
Why do you still pay with cash when you have People's Pay mobile app from People's Bank?
This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
(8:45). This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by J. Yogaraj, read by Soundithavam. The President points out that the responsibility of the opposition is not to pose for everything but to support the good projects of the government. The President also stated, although the country was reopened with the view of practicing new normal life, some elements are purposely ignoring these standards and staging unnecessary protests. The President, in a new Gazette notification, has included new members to the Presidential Task Force for One Country, One Law. Finance Minister assures the trade unions of teachers and principals that their salary anomalies would solved through these budget proposals. Japan will now allow re-entry to all returnees from 6 countries, including Sri Lanka. 488 persons have tested positive for the novel coronavirus today. 16 corona deaths also reported. Death toll from adverse weather condition is on the rise. News overseas, COP26, draft deal calls for stronger carbon cutting targets by end of 2022. In sports, the first semi-final match between England and New Zealand is being played at Dubai cricket grounds. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa points out that the responsibility of the opposition is not to oppose for everything but to support the good projects of the government. The country was reopened with the view of practicing new normal life, but some elements are purposefully ignoring these standards and staging unnecessary protests. This will lead to more corona patients in future. Then the same elements will blame the government for not controlling the corona menace. The opposition should realise the damage effected on national economy and common masses due to their irresponsible acts. The President made these remarks while addressing a gathering at a function held at Temple Trees today to mark the World Science Day. The function was organised by Ministry of Skills Development, Vocational Training, Research and Innovation. A Science Week has been declared to mark this day. The National Innovation Mission was launched on this day under the patronage of the President. The DASIS Awards was presented to the best innovative products. Minister of Youth Affairs, Sports and Digital Technology Infrastructure Namal Rajapaksa also participated in this function and gave away the awards along with State Minister for Skills Development, Vocational Training, Research and Innovation Dr. Sita Aramepola. The President gave away the cheque to the selected schools in each province for the Virtual Innovation Lab project. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, in a new Gazette notification, has included new members to the Presidential Task Force for One Country, One Law. He has also amended its terms of reference. Accordingly, Ramalingam Chakravarti, Karunaharan, Yogeswari Pachkunaraja and Iyampillai Danandaraja have been appointed as new members of the task force. The terms of reference of the task force have been amended as presenting proposals for formulating a conceptual framework ideally suited for Sri Lanka. This is after making a study of the said concept, taking into account the views and opinions held by various parties with regard to the implementation of the concept One Country, One Law. Minister of Finance Basil Rajapaksa has assured the trade unions of teachers and principals that their salary anomalies would be paid at once. The decision has been taken at a discussion held between Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa and Minister Basil Rajapaksa with the attendance of Minister Dinesh Gunawardena at the Parliament complex today. The Prime Minister informed the union leaders that necessary funds will be allocated by the forthcoming budget. He pointed out that government has allocated 7% from the budget to education, which has not been done by any previous government. Sri Lanka Podujana Teachers Trade Union. Sri Lanka Podujana Teachers Trade Union chairperson Vasantha Hantapangoda thanked the government for giving teachers what they demanded amid an economic crisis. General Secretary of Ceylon Teachers Union Joseph Sterling said that the principal teacher trade unions expect to issue a joint statement on the decision. Ceylon Teachers Service Union President Mahinda Jayasinghe told journalists that Prime Minister and Finance Minister assured the trade unions that the anomalies would be settled at once. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Why do you still pay with cash when you have People's Pay mobile app from People's Bank?
Japan will now allow re-entry to all returnees from 6 countries, including Sri Lanka, the Japan Times reported. The 6 countries, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, India, Maldives, Nepal and Sri Lanka, have been covered by a near-total entry ban on foreign nationals, including those who have been vaccinated and those with a valid resident status in Japan. The entry ban was imposed earlier this year as part of Japan's quarantine measures on all foreign nationals who spend time in the 6 countries within 14 days prior to their intended arrival. The Director General of Health Services has confirmed 16 more coronavirus-related deaths for November 9th, pushing the death toll in the country due to the virus to 13,908. This includes 8 males and 8 female patients, according to the Department of Government Information. 2 of the victims are aged between 30 and 59 years, and 14 others are aged 60 years and above. Meanwhile, the Health Ministry reported that another 488 people were tested positive for the novel coronavirus today, increasing the tally of confirmed cases reported in the country to 547,141. This brings the total number of patients receiving medical care to 10,716. The death toll from recent adverse weather in Sri Lanka caused by the low-pressure area in the southeast Bay of Bengal has reached 20. The fatalities are reported from Badulla, Matale, Mullaitivu, Puttalam, Kurunegala, Kagala and Galle districts, the Disaster Management Centre GMC said. As per reports, 126 Divisional Secretariat DS divisions in 17 districts have been hit hard by the prevailing climatic conditions. More than 62,200 people belonging to 17,481 families were afflicted. The DMC further stated that 1,498 individuals displaced due to torrential rains are currently staying at 23 emergency shelters. 18 houses in total have been fully damaged, while 960 sustained partial damages. In the meantime, the National Building Research Organisation, NBRO, has extended the landslide early warnings issued to 11 districts: Badulla, Kalambu, Galle, Gampaha, Kaluchara, Kandy, Kagala, Kurunegala, Matale, Nuwara and Ratnapura. Level 3 red alert is issued to the following areas as follows: Kandy District, Harispattua, Doluwa Yatinuwara, Udapalata, Pasbage Koral, Gangavatta Korale, Udunuwara and Ganga Ihala Korale Divisional Secretariat Divisions. Kagala District, Yati Antota, Ruanvella, Rambukana, Aranayaka, Kagala, Mavanella, Bulatkohupitiya, Varakapala, Dehiovita, Galigamo and Daranagala DS divisions. Kurunegala District, Mallavapitiya, Alawa, Mawatagama, Polgahavela, Ridigama and Naramala DS divisions. That concludes local news.
Why do you still pay with cash when you have People's Pay mobile app from People's Bank? Scan the Lanka QR code and make your payments with People's Pay mobile payment app from People's Bank.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Vidya Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vidya Mahatmya.
Australia has lowered its travel advice level on Sri Lanka. This was announced in the official website of the Australian Government's Travel Advice and Consular Information Service. It has been reviewed and downgraded to exercise a high degree of caution. As per the revised travel advice, passengers who wish to travel to Sri Lanka are required to show a negative PCR test report in English when checking in, and came to you in the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
This is Watchlight.
Health authorities have requested the public to follow health guidelines strictly as the corona infections cross 600 mark the 4th day. Director General of the Health Services, Dr. Asela Gunawardena, said that it is a high risk for the public to get involved with large gatherings or get-togethers. He requested the public to refrain from travelling between the provinces. He pointed out that 500 to 600 corona patients are still being reported daily from the country. Therefore, he emphasised that the pandemic can spread rapidly again if the public act irresponsibly, and came to you in Watchlight.
Coming up, World News.
Making headlines tonight, COP26 draft deal calls for stronger carbon-cutting targets by the end of 2022. Supreme Court blocks mass iPhone claim against Google. And NASA's moon return pushed back to 2025. Countries are being urged to strengthen their carbon-cutting targets by the end of 2022 in a draft agreement published at the COP26 Glasgow Climate Summit. The document says vulnerable nations must get more help to cope with the deadly impacts of global warming. It also says countries should submit long-term strategies for reaching net zero by the end of next year. Critics have said the draft pact does not go far enough, but others welcomed it. Its focus on the 1.5 degrees centigrade target. The UK Supreme Court has rejected a claim that sought billions of pounds in damages from Google over alleged illegal tracking of millions of iPhones. The judge said the claimant had failed to prove damage had been caused by individuals by the data collection. But he did not rule out the possibility of future mass action lawsuits if damages could be calculated. The case will have implications for similar mass action lawsuits. The first NASA mission since 1972 to put humans on the moon's surface has been pushed back by 1 year to 2025. Few observers expected NASA to make the previous 2024 date because of a funding shortfall and a lawsuit over the landing vehicle. But the space agency's chief, Bill Nelson, confirmed the delay in a press conference yesterday. Under its Artemis program, NASA will send the first woman and the 13th man to the lunar surface. Back to the headlines of the world news. COP26 draft deal calls for stronger carbon-cutting targets by end of 2022. Supreme Court blocks mass iPhone claim against Google. And NASA's moon return pushed back to 2025. That concludes this bulletin of world news.
Development News.
The first phase of the cancer treatment unit at Kandy National Hospital will be declared open under the patronage of Minister Kelia Rambukwella day after tomorrow. This is the largest cancer treatment unit in the country. The unit is constructed with modern facilities. The hospital unit will consist 600 beds. A sum of 1,945 million rupees will be spent on this project, and came to you in Development News.
Moving on with Sports News.
The first semi-final match between England and New Zealand is being played at Dubai Cricket Grounds. New Zealand won the toss, elected to field. Accordingly, England was 78 for 2 in 11 overs short while ago. That's Sports News. Business News up next.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to September 30th, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency through NSB U Trust for 6 months consecutively. Send more money and increase the chances of winning.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
SLT Mobitel achieved a 49.2% year-on-year growth of profit after tax PAT in Q3 2021, posting 3.2 billion rupees in profit after tax, reiterating consumer confidence in the national ICT solutions provider. SLT Group revenue for Q3 2021 grew by 15.6% compared to the same quarter of the previous year to 26.7 billion rupees. That's business news, economic news up next.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners.
Economic news, courtesy of...
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
Chairman, Morphosis Energy and Shipping, Chandra Moulis, said they are confident that they would be able to extract oil and gas in Sri Lanka. Quote, this will not only be in Mannar deep waters, but in several other shallow water areas in Sri Lanka, unquote. The fact that Sri Lanka is situated in proximity to Indian oil excavation sites is one major factor that we are so confident, and also research done early on several occasions too are very positive. Quote, we also have observed that all over the world, new oil and gas sites are discovered in non-traditional areas, and this too gives us more confidence to invest, unquote. The 300 million British pounds would be invested within the first 3 years, and then it can even move up to the 1 billion mark. That came to you in business in economic news.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, brings Nanasa app, a trilingual educational mobile app for online learning with video-based lessons from grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with the Nanasa app. No subscription fees. Download via Google Play Store, App Store, Huawei Store or Windows. Dialogue, the future today.
The Met Department says showers will occur at times in Western and Sabargama provinces and in Galle and Mathura districts. Showers or thundershowers will occur at several places elsewhere in the evening or night. Fairly heavy showers, about 75 millimeters, can be expected at some places in the Uva, Central, North Central and Northwestern provinces. General public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. This weather report was published this evening at 7:30 p.m. Further details could be obtained by visiting the official website of the department. Meanwhile, the international weather forecast website AccuWeather.com reports that the day's weather was observed to be bright with occasional showers. Today's daytime temperature was around 27 degrees Celsius. There were light showers in many places in Colombo district in the night. Tonight's temperature will be around 24 degrees Celsius and there will be scattered showers in selected spots late in the night. The ground temperature would be 25 degrees Celsius at the time of this news broadcast. The air quality index AQI is 17, which show fair condition in Colombo. The air quality is ideal for most individuals. Enjoy your normal outdoor activities.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, brings Nanasa app, a trilingual educational mobile app for online learning. With video-based lessons from grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with the Nanasa app. No subscription fees. Download via Google Play Store, App Store, Huawei Store or Windows. Dialogue, the future today.
To conclude this bulletin of news, a recap of the headlines. The President points out that the responsibility of the opposition is not to oppose for everything, but to support the good projects of the government. The President also stated, although the country was reopened with the view of practicing new normal life, some elements are purposefully ignoring these standards and staging unnecessary protests. The President, in a new Gazette notification, has included new members to the Presidential Task Force for One Country, One Law. Finance Minister assures the trade unions of teachers and principals that their salary anomalies would solved through this budget proposals. Japan will now allow re-entry to all returnees from 6 countries, including Sri Lanka. 488 persons have tested positive for the novel coronavirus today. 16 corona deaths also reported. Death toll from adverse weather condition is on the rise. News overseas, COP26, draft deal calls for stronger carbon-cutting targets by end of 2022. In sports, the first semi-final match between England and New Zealand is being played at Dubai Cricket Grounds. That concludes tonight's news broadcast, and now it's back to your host to take you to the end of transmission, Chandima Virakun. Back to you, Chandima.